Prabhupada's gonna go. So, no problem. Okay, let's do our invocation prayers. Before we begin, it'd be nice also if we got a nice picture of.
Yeah, we haven't used this book.
Yes, we have to realize this is Craig's great gift to us all. We have to use it. Maybe you can do a picture and Avani can scroll.
Sorrowful theme, but this one's so sweet and
That's such
awesome that I had to go to this one.
No problem. This is very good. This is Krishna's nature here. He had expanded in many forms here. This is actually when he played a trick on Balaram. I was telling you that he even can bewilder Balaram. This is when he played the trick on all of Vrindavan, and especially Lord Brahma. And he exhibited that every form that he manifested, while Brahma took what was seemingly the cowherd boys, were Vishnu forms, which were able to give birth to each of the universes. So it's very nice. Craig, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome. You always get here right on time. So, we're just about to begin. We were talking yesterday about why the Yadus are fearless. Why? Because they have this Supreme Personality of Godhead who's able to do things like this constantly in their midst, and they have nothing to fear. And actually, Prabhupada was telling us why the devotees are never fearful, because they're always understanding, wow, I'm here trying to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I have nothing to fear in my endeavors. That's why devotees have often in history have done what seemingly materially crazy things. Like, oh my gosh, you're going to just, no money, no this, no that, you're no safety nets, you're just going to plunge into this activity. Why are they going to plunge into it? Because the Supreme Lord is there to protect them. And if they're sincerely serving Krishna, there's nothing to fear. We talked about yesterday also Satyabhama, that little bit of the pastime, how even the denizens of Dwarka, they had they have opulence that even in the heavenly planets that can't be had. And there's the story of Satyabhama getting the Parijata tree that's only reserved for the heavenly planets. But actually, when you're in the posse of the Lord, even on this earth, you can get things better than in the heavenly planets. Actually, it's said that the demigods will pray to take birth here. There's a queue of demigods waiting to take birth in the devotional movements of Lord Chaitanya that we are currently a part of. We are more fortunate than the demigods, actually, the devotees. That's like very, hard to understand, because you think, well, the demigods, they... No, Piyush, your spot is not back there. You're an upfront man. So you're the demigods. Everyone wants to have demigod-like opulence in this world. They want all the wealth. They want all the nice intoxications, and all the finest women, and or if you're a woman, the finest association with men, and all these things are. I would say or nowadays it's different, but I don't know if that's practiced in the heavenly planets. Women, men, things like that. Not sure. It's not up to me. But they have all. It's said they all have the finest sexual pleasures, the finest food pleasures, the finest material comforts that the universe has to offer. But we're way more fortunate. Why? Because we have the opportunity to, one, they have, like when you go to a hotel, anyone ever go to a nice, like my parents just booked me. We would never go normally, but my parents, they booked me and my wife like over like $1,000 for like a few days stay like down the shore off the ocean with them. We're going to go like in like 2 weekends from now with them. Mainly because they want to see the baby. They want all the family members to see the baby. So my parents booked us this thing. So similarly, when you have earned some pious credit, I fed many people, I dug many wells, I served humanity, you'll get demigod opulence. But at some point, you'll run out of money. Just like at some point, even if we really like it, we probably won't really like it because it'll be filled with all kinds of materialism. But anyway, even if we really liked it there, we can tell the hotel owner, okay, yes, I'd like to extend my stay. And he'll be like, yes, we'll pay up. No, I don't need to pay. This is my residence. Like, no, you go back to where you came from. So similarly, in the heavenly planets, you only have so much merit that you can earn. And then after you've spent your merit, then you go right back down again. But the devotees, they're earning a different type of merit, and it's eternal. What's gained in devotional service is never lost. What's gained in just material piety is always lost eventually. You'll always spend out your karma. Just like when you earn money in this world, you'll always spend it eventually. And if you don't spend it and you hoard it, then it'll all be taken from you by relatives when you're deceased. So that's just the nature of acquiring material. But the devotees of the Lord, they get something eternal. And so even these devotees, they enjoy more than the heavenly planets, the yadus. But then even when Krishna leaves, they all leave too, and you're going to see how they leave, and it seems to be shocking, but if you know the intricacies of Krishna's pastimes, you can see how it's actually quite glorious. So anyway, we'll get to that. But right now, today's subject matter is sorrow, and there is a healthy sorrow. Actually, we sing about a healthy sorrow every day, Yugayitam nimeshena chakshusha pravishayitam shunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahename. So this is actually Arjuna's sorrow, and I'll explain this. Yes, everyone know what prayer did I just sing?
Do you know verses an empty sphere when you disappeared within the...
Yes. And what prayer is it from? The Shikshastakam.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, the Shikshastakam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's only left work in the world. So we should learn this prayer. If you actually learn this prayer...
Which number in the Shikshastakam?
7 of the Shikshastakam. So if you learn this prayer of the Shikshastakam, then if you even learn the whole Shikshastakam, you will have a template to make advancement in bhakti every day. And the more you recite this and understand this, you'll be able to mark your progress where I'm at. Most of us are on verse 2. Krishna, your holy names have all of your personal potencies in them, actually even more merciful than you yourself. There's not even any hard and fast rules for chanting these names. But it's your causeless mercy is upon me in the form of these names, but I am so unfortunate due to my offenses that I have no attraction for them at all. And so it's hard to chant. It's hard to sit down and chant rounds. It's hard to get excited to worship the Lord, get up early to want to worship the Lord. All these things is just, we're not enthusiastic. We have to maybe force ourselves to do it because we know it's good for us. We know it's like, there's something in it for me if I do this. And that's healthy in the beginning. It's called Karma Mishra Bhakti or Jnana Mishra Bhakti. Whatever Mishra it is, it's Mishra, means mixed. And it's healthy in the beginning, but actually it won't give us what we're looking for. And what you'll realize at some point is this divine sorrow. And actually it was nice. I had a phone class where I was on the way to get the milk last night. We did a phone class with Mukunda Prabhu. And this was actually kind of my question. I asked, well, I'm doing all these spiritual chores every day. I kind of labeled everything I do like spiritual chores because I know they're good for me. But I'm not, when will I feel bliss, doing this? When will I actually, really have a deep taste for this? And the answer was you should just be grateful that you're even feeling that way. That you're feeling inadequate in your practice, because most people, they're just completely fine. Oh yeah, everything's fine, and they get complacent. And actually, the lack of complacency is, or what you'd call lolium, and greed. This is the very ingredient that actually will bring this type of bhakti that you're looking for, and you'll pursue this at every step. So actually, we should have this divine sorrow, and Arjuna is going to be exhibiting this divine sorrow. So we should actually study this and see how we can apply this to our life. Kachit te namayang tata Brashta teja vibhasi me alabdamanu vagyataha king vatata chiroshita. Kachit, whether, te, your, anamayam, health is all right. Tata, my dear brother, brashta, bereft, teja, luster, vibhasi, appear, me, to me, alabdamana, without respect, avagyata, neglected, kim, whether, va, or, tata, my dear brother, chiroshita, because of long residence. Translation: my brother Arjun, please tell me whether your health is all right. You appear to have lost your bodily luster. Is this due to others disrespecting and neglecting you because of your long stay at Dwarka? Purport: from all angles of vision, the Maharaj inquired from Arjuna about the welfare of Dwarka, but he concluded at last that as long as Lord Sri Krishna himself was there, nothing inauspicious could happen. But at the same time, Arjuna appeared to be bereft of his bodily luster, and thus the king inquired of his personal welfare and asked so many vital questions. So Arjuna comes in, and Arjuna is like the strongest warrior in the world, and he's quite vibrant and amazing. He's a great devotee. But now Yudhishthira is seeing Arjuna looking completely dejected and defeated and lost of all type of his magnificent splendor that a devotee resonates. Well, there's a reason when a devotee can exhibit such a magnificent splendor. It's empowered in service, but Arjuna has got something different going on. Kachina bhihato bhavai Shabdadi bir amangalai Nadatta muktamartibhya Ashayayat pratishrutam. Kachit, whether, na, could not, abhihata, addressed by, abhavai, unfriendly, shabda adibi, by sounds, amangalai, inauspicious, like mangal arti is the auspicious arti, amangal, inauspicious. Na, did not, datam, given charity, uktam, is said, arthibhya, unto one who asked, ashaya, with hope, yat, what? Pratishrutam, promised to be paid. Has someone addressed you with unfriendly words or threatened you? Could you not give charity to one who asked? Or could you not keep your promise to someone? Purport. A Kshatriya or a rich man is sometimes visited by persons who are in need of money. When they are asked for a donation, it is the duty of the possessor of wealth to give in charity in consideration of the person, place, and time. If a Kshatriya or rich man fails to comply with this obligation, he must be very sorry for this discrepancy. Similarly, one should not fail to keep his promise to give in charity. These discrepancies are sometimes causes of despondency, and thus failing, a person becomes subjected to criticism, which might also be the cause of Arjuna's plight. So if you are in a position, especially if you're a Kshatriya or a ruling person in the world, your duty actually is to give in charity to worthy persons, especially Brahmanas, those who are, very selflessly serving the Lord. So everyone is, it's a duty to give in charity. Actually, it's everyone's duty, actually. But based on what, like in the Christian teaching, Jesus had highlighted, right? That my dad texted me this morning with a Bible verse he saw on the TV, saying how you make sure you keep Jesus' teaching. So now here they come. So anyway, my dad and my brother and my brother's girlfriend are coming tomorrow for the Wednesday night program, actually. So it's going to be very interesting.
Has your brother been here before?
He's never been here, actually, this brother, and his girlfriend's never been here. They came to a program of ours not that long ago, and they were at the baby shower too, so they saw the yagya and everything. And he's probably the most favorable to the devotees and devotional service.
He's fun.
What?
He's fun.
Yes, he is. Yes. Yeah. He's a fun character. We just have to get him fun for Krishna, and then it'll be good.
He's second in the line, right?
What?
He's second
Yes,
in the line.
he's the one who came after me.
Yeah.
So only a few years younger. But anyhow, the teaching of Jesus is, a woman went and gave Jesus a small coin, and the disciples said, what will we do with this? And this isn't a worthy thing. And Jesus turned and chastised them very severely. Like, no, this woman has given everything that she had to offer. She's given way more than this rich person who has given only a small, even though it's hundreds of times more than what she gave, thousands of times more than what she gave. Because of that person's capacity, it was actually so much less. The Lord, Madhav quoted it yesterday, Yayatam am prapadyante tam statai bhavajamyaham. As all surrender unto me, I record them accordingly. So if you surrender, it's a percentage game. If you surrender, I'll surrender 10% of my life to Krishna. No problem. That's one thing. But if you have basically nothing and you surrender everything, that's way more in Krishna's eyes than the actual monetary amount. Krishna controls it. You're just giving it back to Krishna anyway. It's all his anyway. It's like, the example is given when worshipping the Ganga. You take Ganga's water and like a handful of Ganga's water and you offer it back to her. And so, or you offer a deep, a lamp, the source of all light, the sun. So yes, you can try and do this, but it's basically an empty endeavor, but it's not, because you're offering your heart. That's the main thing. So anyway, there's an obligation for everyone to give charity, actually. Even ourselves, we're doing this devotional work in which many people are inclined to give in charity towards the work, but even ourselves, it's our duty also to give in charity. So that's why when guests come, mainly our charity goes to guests, or even other spiritual projects when we visit and things like that. But it's also our duty to give in charity. And then, of course, the charity of offering things to the community and so many things like this. But, the whole prasadam, free prasadam, for anyone who comes, this is a charity. But it's everyone's duty. That's why, in the Nectar of Instructions, dadati pratigrihnati. Dadati is giving gifts. There should be some charity in one's dealings with devotees. That's devotees. But actually a Kshatriya is, they are the main charity givers in society. So the rulers of society, they should be giving in charity. Now what do the rulers of society do? They cheat society and steal and take. And, they all become millionaires and billionaires and things like that. People are always marveling that the U.S. What is it? The positions in Congress and things like that. It doesn't matter, Democrat, Republican. They only have a certain amount of small salary. Not too small. We'd like the salary, like 150,000 or maybe up to 500,000 for the president. But you see, the longer they're in office, how their net worth is really skyrocketing up in the millions and things like that. And like, how the heck do you do that with that salary? Why? Because they do insider trading, they cheat people with legislation, they steal from the people. That's what Kshatriyas do in Kali Yuga. Well, they're not real Kshatriyas, they're Shudras in the seat of Kshatriyas. And what do they do? Yes, and they have the Asura nature, they're atheistic, so they just steal from the people. So this is very bad. But a dharmic Kshatriya like Arjuna, if he wasn't able to fulfill a charity when asked, this would completely destroy him. He'd feel dejected. Even myself, sometimes I run into homeless people, and that it's happened now twice that I went to Armory Square, where I ran into a homeless person and they asked me for charity, and I didn't have anything, even a book on me. So okay, whatever little money, fine, take this. But I begged him, please use this for a good thing, But anyway, it's if you can't give in charity, it's actually a great loss. So Arjuna is actually, so that's why Yudhisthira is saying, to see you so sad, you must have not been able to fulfill charity. And he's also, we all have, we have this thing called vipralipsa. It's one of the deficiencies of the conditioned living entity. And vipralipsa means we have a bias towards what we want to be true. Not what's actually true, but what we want to be true. So Yudhishthira kind of has this vipralipsa right now. He doesn't want it to be true that Krishna could have left the planet. So he's saying, oh, maybe it's because you didn't get charity, or maybe it's because someone addressed you with unfriendly words or threatened you. And he's just hoping it's anything else other than that one thing. But this is actually, the way he's exhibiting it is so wonderful, actually, because it's glorious for the devotee to not want to be separated from the Lord. So, this is very nice. Do we read this? If a Kshatriya or a rich man fails to comply with this obligation, he must be very sorry for this discrepancy. And if similarly, one should not fail to keep his promise to give in charity. So if you promise to give something in charity, also you should always try to honor this, because it will cause some mental discrepancy in there. So these discrepancies are sometimes causes of despondency. And thus failing, a person becomes subject to criticism, which might also be the cause of Arjuna's plight. So this is actually nice, because this could let us know, especially in our devotional dealings, if we make a promise, we should always try to keep our promises to the devotees. This is very important. Like this. Kachit tvang brahmanang balang gangridhang roginang striyam sharano pashritang satvang natyakshi sharana prada. Kachit, whether, tvam, yourself, brahmanam, the brahmanas, balam, the child, gam, the cow, vridham, old, roginam, the diseased, striyam, the woman, sharana upasritam, having approached for protection, satvam, any living being, na, whether, atyakshi, not given shelter, sharana prada, deserving protection. You are always the protector of the deserving living beings, such as Brahmins, children, cows, women, and the diseased. These classes of people, or of living entities, should always be given special protection. Cows, Brahmins, children, women, and the diseased. Why? Because they're the most vulnerable, but also they all are very valuable to society. Children make the future of society. Cows can nourish. They can create an abundance of food. They can literally turn grass into an abundance of milk. Brahmins, they are actually providing spiritual wisdom for all of society. So valuable. Women are incredibly valuable. They're much more vulnerable than men, but they're also much more simple and innocent than men. And if led in the right direction, they can do glorious things for society, and they actually mother and take care of society in so many ways. And the diseased are, in a very vulnerable and rough situation in life. And also, and if you can give them shelter and help them heal, they'll be very grateful and usually become very favorably disposed. Diseased people are people who are suffering the results of their karma, but actually they're paying off their karmic debt, but they can turn around and they can go towards God very easily. Anyone in a distressed situation. So, could you not give them protection when they approached you for shelter? Prabhupada says the Brahmins, who are always engaged in researching knowledge for the society's welfare work, both materially and spiritually, deserve the protection of the king in all respects. So we should say, hey, this is Brahminical work here, government. Please help us. There is actually some help from the government in some way, via the non-profit element, but we don't have the whole thing under the non-profit's jurisdiction, so we're not getting the help that we probably could be getting if everything was set up a little bit more legally fine-tuned. But anyhow, we are this is actually ideal that the administrator class helps the Brahminical work. It's practically not being done at all, but there is religious freedom and there is religious tax exemption and things like this. And actually there is a system that this can be utilized. We're not utilizing it how it should be, so I have to somehow come up with $5,000 for property taxes this year. But yes.
Are you going to read the purport?
Oh, I'm reading. I'm just moving past that part.
I can't read it that well.
Okay, so I'll leave it up there. Similarly, the children of the state, the cow, the diseased person, the woman, and the old man specifically require the protection of the state or a Kshatriya king. Even in today's society, you see things like Medicaid, you see things there's supposed to be proper care for children, orphanages, and women's shelters and things like that. A lot of that is there in society, at least on a surface level. There's a lot of abuse in these things, elderly care and things like that, extra privileges and rights for children and the elderly, and even women who are in, especially in regards to children, are trying to care for children. Like my wife gets actually some government benefits for, actually she is a full-time employee of the nonprofit. That's how it's lined up legally. So she's a full-time employee of the nonprofit. So she gets extra rights and gets some food stipend from the government. Now that she has a child, they're also giving the child, apparently, they should get some food stipend or something like this as well. But this is, these programs are there even in today's society, even though, how incredibly imperfect they are. But even, this is natural. But these sections of society should always be protected. The Brahmins, if you're gonna, what causes should I support? The Brahmin cause is the number one cause. What is the pursuit of spiritual wisdom and helping deliver spiritual wisdom to others? That one should be the number one. But also cows, children, women, the diseased, and then Prabhupada even adds in old men here and the elderly as well. They require the protection of the state or a Kshatriya king. If such living beings do not get protection by the Kshatriya, the royal order, by the state, it is certainly shameful for the Kshatriya or the state. If such things had actually happened to Arjuna, Maharaj Yudhishthira was anxious to know about these discrepancies. So, we'll keep going. Kachit-tvang nagamo gamyang gamyang va satkritang striyam parajito vata bhavan no tamerna samaipati. Kachit, whether, tvam, yourself. Not. Agama, did contact. Agamyam, impeachable. Gamyam, acceptable. Va, either. Asatkritam, improperly treated. Striyam, a woman. Parajita, defeated by. Va, either. Atha, after all. Bhavan, your good self. Na, nor. Uttamai, by superior power. Na, not. Asamai, by equals. Pati, on the road. Have you contacted a woman of impeachable character? Or have you not properly treated a deserving woman? Or have you been defeated on the way by someone who is inferior or equal to you? So, these are some causes of distress in society. If you were to, inappropriately contact a woman of not good character, maybe it's happened to you in your life before. And when this happens, it's actually a cause of sorrow. You fell into all kinds of implications and things like this. This happens. The other thing, have you not properly treated a deserving woman, especially a Kshatriya, especially in Vedic culture and Vedic times? If a deserving woman came to you for shelters, or even came to you in, you could say, with a romantic desire for you, and she's deserving, actually you could, meets all the good qualifications. It's actually one's duty to, in the Vedic times, to accept this woman and, maybe give her shelter as a husband or something like this.
Is that what, when Yudhisthira refused to marry
I mean Bhishma.
Or Bhishma?
Yes, when Bhishma refused to marry, that's why it was, she felt very slighted, and actually it led to Bhishma's death eventually, because she took rebirth as Shikandi, that's right, yes, as Shikandi, to kill him. So this is actually, but Bhishma took a vow, so he had to, what do I do, this worldly dharma or my vow? And he chose his vow. But it actually led to his undoing, or it led to his removal from the material world.
And he had to keep his promise.
Yes, so you'll always find yourself in predicaments in the material world. There'll always be some contradiction where you can't observe dharma in every circumstance.
Taking the vow was the time it was decided the Mahabharata will happen. So
This is a very pivotal moment, actually.
Except with the eighth son there.
when he took the vow that he will be a celibate, he will not marry and
Not be king.
yeah.
Yes.
Because now you are giving authority to a materialistic title than the Lord over you.
Yes. So these are all the subtleties of Dharma come out. It's very nice pastime. It's all the Lord's arrangement, but it's a very nice pastime. Many lessons that can be learned. So yes, to contact for a man to contact a woman of impeachable character, or not good qualities, and maybe lusty or improperly, this is a cause for lamentation. And then similarly, to not properly treat a deserving woman, a very chaste and proper and innocent and looking for shelter, protection, also a cause for lamentation. Or have you been defeated by someone who is inferior or equal to you? And to be defeated by, especially for a warrior, to be defeated by one's, someone like a rival, or even less. Actually, this is one of the things that did happen, you'll see. He was defeated by seemingly inferior personalities. But that will be explained later. So it appears from this verse that during the time of the Pandavas, free contact between man and woman was allowed in certain conditions only. The higher caste men, namely the Brahmins and Kshatriyas, could accept a woman of the Vaishya or the Shudra community, but a man from the lower caste could not contact a woman of the higher caste. Even a Kshatriya could not contact a woman of the Brahmin caste. The wife of a Brahmin is considered one of the 7 mothers, namely one's own mother, the wife of the spiritual master or teacher, the wife of a Brahmin, the wife of a king, the cow, the nurse, and the earth. Such contact between man and woman was known as Uttama and Adam. Uttama is like topmost, and Adama is, I'm assuming, bad. Contact of a Brahmin with a Kshatriya woman is Uttama, but the contact of a Kshatriya with a Brahmin woman is Adama, and therefore condemned. A woman approaching, what are you upset about? A woman approaching a man for contact should never be refused. But but at the same time, the discretion as above mentioned may also be considered. Bhima was approached by Hidimbi from a community lower than the Shudras, and Yayati refused to marry the daughter of Shukracharya because of Shukracharya's being a Brahmin. Vyasadeva, a Brahmin, was called to beget Pandu and Dhritarashtra. Satyavati belonged to a family of fishermen, but Parashara, a great Brahmin, begot in her Vyasadeva. So there are so many examples of contacts with women, but in all cases the contacts were not abominable, nor were the results of such contacts bad. Contact between man and woman is natural, but that also must be carried out under regulative principles so that social consecration may not be disturbed or unwanted worthless population be increased for the unrest of the world.
Here is the difference of here jati comes in. So it's a very controversial thing if you in modern times how to put it this way. As you say that Brahmana, Shudra, Vaishya is a qualification.
Yes.
And now it's being treated as caste at this moment in this conversation.
Yes.
So that's clearly it's caste based, not Varna based as of now.
Well, nowadays it's all caste.
The way it is presented.
The way it's being presented, but you also have to factor in one thing. In the West we have no caste system. It's not there. But in the East, there's a social order that has to be upheld. So you would even maybe observe the caste element. Yeah. Now, it depends on the transcendental nature of the people making the choice. Like for instance, Advaita Acharya, he chose Haridas Thakur, who is Muslim born, which would be, in the caste system, would be an outcast, out of the caste system. He was the number one honorable person in an assembly of all Brahmins. So, at his Shraddha ceremony. So it really depends on the personality and the circumstance. But
I think that from Varna to caste has already penetrated this yuga. So I think the caste was getting prominent over Varna at this time of the yuga.
Yeah. It's almost immediately upon Kali Yuga.
I think that's
what was once qualification based became birth based, and it has nothing to do.
That was the reason Draupadi asked Karna why she cannot marry him because he was Shudra.
Yeah. Well, it was the excuse.
Yeah,
but she wanted Arjuna and
yes. It was acceptable rejecting someone on the basis of caste.
Exactly. I mean, so there is this element in society, but and us in the West, we really don't have to observe it much because there's no social disturbance. And maybe even Avani, you were born in the West, so you may or may not have to observe this. Piyush, you may have to observe this because you will cause chaos in your family. But actually you're in good hands because if born in a Brahmin family, you can actually accept all the other ones.
That you getting born, and then you can see clearly discrimination in the society.
Yes.
So I'm very well aware of it. That's what I'm saying, that this is okay.
Yes. Yes.
5,000 years ago, it was also the same thing that's now.
Yes, but these are scriptural, and they actually make sense from the Varna perspective, meaning the qualification of the person. It actually makes sense that a Brahmin, one born of a Brahmin nature, should due to their Brahmin nature, they're already situated. They can accept those of the lower nature and help elevate them. But if someone is born of, and namely, this is for men, because men, whether you like it or not, they are seen as the leaders of a relationship. It's just whether you like it or not. It's just the reality of history, and it's the reality of actually dynamics between the two sexes. The women almost always take a submissive role, or it's much more natural to take a submissive role, and the men almost always take a protective or a leadership role. And it's much more natural for them to do so.
It contradicts a little bit of what you said the other day about women being controlled.
Well, yes, in one sense. From the external perspective, it actually looks like the man is leading and in control. But actually, who is really in control is the woman. The woman is...
said that the man should act as though he's under the control of the woman, but not really under don't be that way.
Yeah. So it's there's like a relationship dynamic between man and woman that's very interesting, but for the social dynamic and societal dynamic, the man should be the head of the household. It should appear that way. And the woman should respect the man in that, and encourage the man in that. But naturally speaking, in dealings between the husband and the wife, actually the wife is always going to come out on top. And this is this is how it actually, there's some saying, even look at, I think was it Alexander the Great who was brought down by Cleopatra, who, there are some, great, or might have been Caesar, I don't remember. One of these great, one of these great, yes, actually Mark Antony took him down. But anyway, any great man can be brought down to his knees in tears by a woman. Any great man of power, actually. The only thing against him, if no one's stronger than him physically, only a woman can then take him down from there. So that's actually the nature. But from the societal perspective, the man usually would lead the household. So it would be he can on his spiritual merit, he could always go lower than him, no problem, because it won't corrupt him, because he's supposed to lead. But a woman, actually, she should only go higher than her and never go lower than her. That's because then she'd have to take the lead from someone less qualified than her, and it wouldn't be natural. So these are some social dynamics that are mentioned in the Vedas. Whether you agree with them or not, that's a whole nother thing. But these are the divine order of things as given by the Vedas. And actually, if you look, it actually makes sense and it works, especially from that social dynamic of the man taking leadership role in the family dynamic. It makes a ton of sense that in order to lead somebody, like I've made a rule here, and for a very good reason. I don't want anyone living here who is older than me. I've had all kinds of testing with this in the past, and the reason why, because if I'm called to lead this, and somebody is older than me and cannot see me as a leader position, there's always just so much conflict. Even if I'm, at least in the devotional society dynamic, would be their, senior in technically. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. They're just not able to see it, and I'm not able to actually lead properly. And every time, even if only for 1 month they come, always some type of conflict.
Cancel my plans of moving.
You should cancel your plans to move in. Anyone else younger than me? As I get older, it gets easier to bring people in here. But I've made the rule. I've tested it out. It's time tested, and I've realized very viscerally, even around the same age.
Very logical.
Yeah. It's even around the same age, I have to be careful. I'm like, okay, does this person accept me as junior or as senior? If so, okay, we can work something out. But why? Because I can't actually do my job. It doesn't allow me to do my job. So similarly, in a relationship, even with my wife, even though I am technically older than her, but actually she should, even by Vedic standards, she should even be a little younger than she is. But because I had kind of spiritually inducted her into this, you could say, showed her the ropes of all this, that natural respect that's needed is actually present. So these things, when considering relationships, even when considering, like I'm saying, you're managing a project, you have to consider all these things on how to properly lead. So anyway, these are why some of these things are like this. Anyhow. It is abominable for a Kshatriya to be defeated by one who is inferior in strength or equal in strength. If one is defeated at all, he should be defeated by some superior power. Arjuna was defeated by Bhishma Dev, and Lord Krishna saved him from the danger. This was not an insult for Arjuna, because Bhishma Dev was far superior to Arjuna in all ways, namely age, respect, and strength. But Karna was equal to Arjuna, and therefore Arjuna was in crisis when fighting with Karna. It was felt by Arjuna, and therefore Karna was killed even by crooked means. Such are the engagements of the Kshatriyas. And Maharaj Yudhishthira inquired from his brother whether anything undesirable happened on the way home from Dwarka. So, again, we didn't get to so much, so we'll actually continue the Sara theme tomorrow. We didn't. And by the way, what's that verse mean? Yugayatam nimeshena. Nimeshena is like a moment, and Yugayatam is like an age, like a 1,000-year age or more. And it says a moment feels like an age or 1,000 years. Chakshusha pravishayatam, from my chakshus, the eyes. From the eyes, streams of tears are flowing. Shunyayatam jagat sarvam, jagat, the universe. Sarvam, all of the universe. Shunyayatam, it appears empty. It's feeling empty. Govinda virahaname, Govinda, when I am separated from you, in my separation from you. So Arjuna is actually feeling this verse in this, because Krishna is left, and now Arjuna is feeling this verse, and actually he's, he doesn't. Do you ever just not be in it? Maybe you had to work, or maybe you had to go to do a school project, but your head's not in it. Nothing's in it, and you're just not able to perform properly. So Yudhishthira is noticing this about Arjuna. Why? Because something is clearly disturbing him, and he can't properly do his duty. This happens all the time. Maybe not all the time, but it happens time to time. So for the devotee or the advancing devotee, this is supposed to happen. Actually, it's a natural step, a progression. That I can't do anything materially anymore. My head, I'm not in it. I only want you, Krishna. I only want to be, and this is an evolving thing. It's not like you artificially do this, like Krishna. You're rolling on the ground and artificially. No, it's a naturally progressing, and it could happen quicker than it can with the impetus of an advanced personality. This can be given very quickly, actually. But most of the time it's given gradually, and it's cultivated gradually. But yes, this is actually a very healthy sorrow that we should eventually feel disgusted with our spiritual progress, with our spiritual so-called advancement. We should actually feel disgusted. That's why this. Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti. So, all the glories of your holy name, how much mercy you're given to me. But Durdaivam, misfortune, Idusham is such, Iha, in this world, Ajani, is birthed, Nanuragaha, no attachment to you. I have no my misfortune is that somehow or other, due to my offenses, I have no attachment at all for you. We should actually feel disgusted. Truthfully, we should feel disgusted, and then this actually will lead to advancement in devotion. If you feel I'm doing well, you're not doing well. If you feel that you're not doing well, you might be doing well. So, because you'll actually the impetus to receive mercy is there. The seeking of mercy is there. If you feel, I'm doing great, I do this, and this every day, then you're missing a crucial point. So this is actually, these are some of the teachings from Shikshastakam. But anyhow, yes, this divine sorrow is good, actually. This divine sorrow is good. You should be sorrowful that we're not in connection to the Lord, that we're not even sincerely really giving much of an effort to the Lord. Or even if we are doing a bunch of rituals, like myself, I do many rituals throughout the day, but the feeling inside isn't always there, or mostly isn't there. We should actually feel sorrowful for this thing. And then the other divine sorrow would be then if you actually do achieve the Lord, and then you somehow get separated from him like Arjuna, then you'll be like, so like this. The gopis feel like this, but all the devotees who get separated from the Lord feel like this. Anyway, I actually have many things I have to do today, because I have to, when my parents come, or my dad and my brother and the girlfriend, that'll set me off for a day and a half. I won't be able to do many things I normally would be able to do. And then on top of that, we have Jagat Mohan Maharaj coming this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Try to be here for Friday night. It's a rare opportunity, and a very advanced personality is coming to Syracuse. So everyone should be prioritizing. Avani, I know you will come Friday night, hopefully. And we have a sannyasi, or a very advanced, of many years practicing devotee, coming. So see if you can do Friday night. Maybe we can find someone from Manlius who'd like to bring Craig, or maybe someone can drop you off or something.
Yeah, I'm just not good at night programs.
I know. But it is worth it for this thing. Whatever material obstacle may be there.
Is he gonna do anything Saturday morning?
You will actually do something Saturday morning, and then we'll do Saturday afternoon in Ithaca, and then we'll also have the Sunday program here. So whatever we can do, but we should try. But that will throw me off all weekend. So today's my last day to do some activities. So anyhow, Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.